Hey, I didn't know what other background to use except for this. Um, I want to talk about the way I've been feeling. So, I actually felt this. I felt so bad most of the entire time that I was at the facility that Mama was in. But I tried to stay strong, and all my life, I mean, I documented how every month it was something different, another sickness, another illness. It moves from one part of my body to the other, and I thought, well, I finally found some good doctors. I thought I found some really good doctors when I saw how well they seemed to be with me and Mama. And they said, oh, they'll take us right in. So finally, we worked and worked, and finally they said they have to take us in. We're like a package deal. So they took us in. Well, we spend hundreds of dollars at the doctor's office, and I get tests done. And of course, my cousin, she has low thyroid apparently, and she had one test done. She had the same symptoms that I do, except not as dramatic, not as traumatic, not as bad. She gets a test done, and immediately they said, "Yeah, you've got a low thyroid. Here's a medication." She's felt so much better. Me, I spend $208 plus $200 plus $108 on tests. I spend $308 on myself. Mama spends $207 in there and doesn't get jack. She didn't even get her medicines that she usually gets. And then we come to find out that the medicine that's pretty much, might as well say, keeping her alive, the medicine that's lowering the calcium levels in her body so she doesn't get more stones and more infection, and she still got her bladder infection and kidney infections. She's still hurting, still burning, but thank God she's with us. That's the miracle. But the medicine, they want to charge $1,018 a month. But the insurance is the only reason why it's going to be cheaper. The insurance that Daddy has on his job, that won't last forever. His medicines will be, the life-saving medicines are almost $800 a month. Mama's $1,018 a month. I don't know how people do it. I don't know what we're going to do either. There's so many, we need repairs on the roof, the house. Big hole came in the roof. Insurance didn't give us enough to cover what we need to do. And then when we got that, then the truck quit, other truck quit, so we had to buy. There's been a lot going on. You all know that, but that has nothing to do with this. I am hoping and praying. I'm staying with Mama, trying to take care of her, but I've been dealing with these blackouts. My cousin dealt with a similar thing, but she got help. I went to the doctor for like 20-something years. My entire life I kept going to the doctor. And I went to multiple experts, and they tested me for Crohn's. They tested me for everything. They said I had all the symptoms of Crohn's and Hashimoto's. They haven't tested for lupus, but... And right now, as I sit here, my brain... If I were driving, I would literally almost run into someone else because my brain's not comprehending the situation before it happens. And my adrenal glands feel like they're going off just constantly. And I feel like I'm going to black out every little bit. And then that causes the confusion and grogginess. I feel so bad I can barely sit up, and every time I think about eating, then when I go to eat, that it really takes off. But it's like blackout spells in my head. I get an adrenal gland rush, and then blackout spells, blackout spells. I've even fallen backwards, broke the wicker cabinet in the hallway that we had. I fell backwards by blacking out. Just went backwards. And I need to get my license, but what if that were to happen when I drive? I even had the symptoms of pancreatitis. But they said, well, you don't have, they tested my thyroid. Other people had their thyroid tested, and they said that they had every symptom I had of Hashimoto's. Even nurses and techs out there at that facility. And I felt so much more positive, even though I could barely sit up when I was in there. I took care of Mama, but I could barely sit up. I'll be straight up honest. The nurses all told me, you need to get some rest, you need to get you some rest. And I thought, I'm staying with Mama. I'm staying up with her. And they told me to get some rest Finally, I got rest, but all I could do was sleep. One day I slept 18 hours, and I still wasn't rested fully. 18 hours. No human being should have to rest like a sloth. Anyway, but I got the results back from the doctor's office, and they emailed them to me. Then they called me and said, nope, nothing's wrong. Just lose weight. So I've been drinking, they said just drink water. I've been drinking water nonstop. Pretty much cut the sodas out except for one little soda that I've been drinking on, taking sips of. Still feel the same crap. I'm blacking out, getting the blackout spells. All they tell me is lose weight. I had a 0.002% above A1C level that they think you should have. And you spend hundreds of dollars, and then mama already owes. Insurance was supposed to pay for it. When insurance didn't, Medicare was supposed to pay for it. That's what they told us. Then all of a sudden here we're being socked with bills that are about almost $11,000. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. They tell us we owe all of that for radiology, for the hospital stay, for the ambulance ride, for the ER visit. Well, I knew the ER visit would have to be paid, but then we made our deductible after that. That's what I thought. But no, not what they're saying. She has Medicare Part A, so it was supposed to pay for the ambulance ride. But it didn't. I don't know. I really don't. But as far as me, what do I do? What do you do when you can't do anything? People in the facility, all they saw was my strength. All they saw was my strength. All they saw was the energy that I had. All they saw was how well that I felt. They didn't see or how well I pretended to feel. And some days when I was in there, I was so tired. I mean, no matter how much I rested, my eyes were giving way. My head was nodding off while I was trying to listen to the doctor's talk. And yet, everything's fine. White blood cell count showed up high, but they said that's not a problem. I have pancreatitis symptoms. My right side's hurting, left side hurts. I barely sit up. I can't function like this. And I need to do something in life. I was around other people. People said, get out. They say, get out. Get around other people. You'll feel better. They're like, get out of the house. Well, I was out of the house for 3 months. I had the same symptoms. I focused my all on my parents. Prayed and prayed. My mama, prayers worked for her. Praise be to Yeshua. Thank you, Jesus. The prayers worked for mama. But what am I going to do for me? I can't keep this up. Blacking out and feeling bad and pretending to the world that I'm okay when I'm not. Going to doctors for tens of years. Well, going to doctors since I was little bitty. Even when I was a baby, I was born with yellow jaundice, and I sat when I was a little bitty child, I sat in this in the Vanderbilt hospital, and they looked at me and my parents. They said, well, they would never tell what they found, but they just said results are basically inconclusive. They said, you're going to have to give him Tylenol every 4 hours the rest of his life and rotate it between that and Motrin. He'll never be better. That's what they said to my mama. She said, well, what'd you find? You're just going to have to give him Tylenol the rest of his life and switch it between that and Motrin. That's all they told her. And if I don't take Tylenol all the time, I feel achy, feel feverish. The entire time I was in the hospital and in the facility, I was running 100 to 101 fever. But when I went to the doctor's office, because it was right at 100, they told me that's not a fever. If it's not 100.1 or above, it's not considered a fever. They gave me Augmentin, but it still didn't kick all this infection out. I've still got infection. They said, oh, your white blood cell's high because of the infection, upper respiratory infection. But I go from upper respiratory infection, throat, sore throat, strep throat, goes into my head again, Then I get the blackout spells. Then it goes back into my insides, my gut. Then it goes back into my chest. Then back through my body. Then my body aches. Then it goes back into my teeth again, my jaws. Then I have the mouth sores come back. And then it goes back into my head again. Then I get the ear infection. And then it goes from the ear infection back into my head again. Then the blackout spells start. Then the abdominal pain. Then it'll go into my chest. And then my side will hurt and I can't lift anything. Then it'll go in my back and hips. Out of my back and hips into my legs. Back into my head. And it's a reverse cycle every year, the same thing. I don't get it. It's like an energy illness that no one can pinpoint. I focused a whole lot of prayer on other people. I prayed for other people in the hospitals. I walked up on people and prayed in the rehab facility with people. And they were just like, "Who are you?" And I'm thankful that I did that. But it just feels like, when am I going to get help, you know? Alright, I've probably talked enough. I feel really bad and I'm hurting all over and I don't know what else to do. I've been tested for everything you can think of, and then they tell you, my entire life I've tested and tested and tested and tested. If I hadn't had cover kids the 18 years that during the time up until I was 18, and then under my daddy's insurance till I forgot what age I was. If I hadn't had that, I'd have never got my teeth done and my front teeth, and I would have never gotten all the tests that I had done. I've been tested for everything you can think of, and they've done CTs and blood work and scans, and I'm still blacking out with the same inconclusive results. And all they could say was, "You should be happy. You should be happy." I should be happy? Well, I want to know what's going on with me. Why can I not function like a human being? Thank God my mama's back, but I need to feel, and I am so grateful for that. It's the greatest holiday gift I could ever have. As goodness knows we can't afford another one, but that's the only gift I needed, was Mama being back. That and positivity. But I'd also love me to feel well as well. If I can't feel well, then I can't do anything. And there's lots that needs doing. It's like a weight mounting up on me, and then I know I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and you'll black out from that too, but the people around me, everyone around, even extended family, they seem so energetic and well, and they don't have any medical problems like I have. And they don't get it. I wish that others, and the doctors that you go to, they say, "Well, inconclusive, just drink a lot of water. Here, give us hundreds of dollars. See us again in 3 months, spend several more hundred." And then just to say, "Hey, lose some weight. We couldn't find anything." What does that do me? I was positive and happy, even though I felt like total crap, because I thought that I had found a doctor and a medical facility that was going to help find out what's going on with me with blood work. Well, they didn't find jack crap. They did 15 comprehensive metabolic panel tests, 15 different blood works, and they found nothing. And the 4 things they did find out of whack, they said, it's not enough to worry about. Anyway, I love you all so much. I shouldn't be this exhausted. I go from one illness to another, and it just doesn't make sense. If you all have any idea what could be going on with me, send your prayers. I'm drinking lots of water, trying to eat healthy. I don't know. Thank you very much, though. Signing out. I feel pretty rough. I'll just say that.